Hello, welcome to Spring English 101. This is a short-term class, which means that things are going to be going a little bit faster than in the regular 16-week edition. But I'm here to prepare you for that accelerated version and to help you succeed. I will try to put myself into any situation that allows you to get a better understanding, a quicker understanding of what we're doing. I will try to be there to support you as much as possible on this journey. First thing I would tell you to do, because this is an online class, go get a cup of coffee or a hot beverage of your choice. You will be disturbing no one as you drink it. I will show you how. That was me drinking a little bit of coffee in front of class. I don't usually do that, but I'm trying to show you that you can take a little bit of liberty in an online class. I probably won't do that again, but to make certain that you know that it opens up the classroom to a lot of possibilities, and it should be a classroom that evolves and helps you meet your goals. So if you've got a lot of things during the day and you want to log in during the night, I want to make certain everything's there for you so you're ready and you can meet the challenges when those come. If you are a morning person, anything, obviously, when you log in, this is your class. And I hope you feel welcome, and I hope the other students make you feel welcome. We want to start a community of learners, basically, where people care about the other people around them. It's very hard sometimes in an online class, but I have put together assignments that try to not push you together, but try to make you monitor and help each other as much as possible, because I believe in that. I believe that if other people are engaged in your learning, you will present a better version of yourself, because you know that you're being helped by someone else, that someone else is kind of not counting on you, but someone else cares about how well you do in the class. And it's not just the teacher. It's somebody that is your peer. And I think that's important. However, there's not going to be any moments where you have to reach out to other students or talk to them on the phone or anything like that. I'm just trying to make certain that you're as connected as possible as a group, because I think it helps going forward. In the vein of that, you'll look at your first assignment, which is introducing yourself through a song. No, you don't have to sing, but I would like you to attach a video of a song that you believe has some kind of important connection to you. It might have been playing on your way to prom. It might have been doing something that you believe is important in your life. Explain that connection in 2 or 3 sentences. So it's not a long introduction here. I'm not asking for long introductory paragraphs at this point, but just let me know, why are you connected? Now, take this seriously though. Don't just tell me about the song. Explain the connection to you. It's important to get at the very beginning of a class an understanding of following an assignment, because following the assignment is worth a lot of points in your larger papers. In this one, obviously, I'm just trying to set the balance so that you'll be ready for this when it comes. But stay on topic. Don't tell me about the song. Explain the connection to you in 2 to 3 sentences. No, you're not done. Now you're going to find that part of your song that you like the best and play it and explain. Speak to people about why this is so important. It's a key part of the song, and since we don't get to understand your personality very well on sometimes just through the words that you publish, I want people to be able to meet you, get an idea of who you are, care a little bit about your development, because they know you. And this is the part of the assignment which we kind of get to know who you are. Talking about something that is important to you and that you really like can do a lot for understanding who you are. Now I'm going to go back to the home, and I will, and by the way, that is due next Monday. Everything that you have is due on Monday, pretty much. Because it's a short-term class, I will have a couple of Friday assignments. So when I say everything, you have to be careful, I know. Most of the things that you have in this class will be due on Monday. Every once in a while, there will be a Friday assignment, and that will be in the announcements, and I'll make certain you know right off the bat that there's something due on Friday that week. Anyway, So let's look at the first academic paragraph you're going to write for class, and that's called the classification paragraph. And classification is a little tough. I know it. And one of the reasons why we do it is because it is one of the more difficult academic assignments, and it can be an important way to step up in your in showing that you understand modes of rhetoric. Now, I'll stop with the jargon talk now, and I'll get right to the assignment. But just know that classification is a specific way of looking at a problem, at a topic. And if you can bend your mind around it, it shows that you understand how to use English in a logical situation where you're given a specific task. And if we're able to start that at the very beginning, you'll have a much better time when we get to the more familiar modes of rhetoric, because you'll know how to look into a problem where I say, oh, do this. And you'll say, oh, well, now that we've gotten through classification, which is something pretty foreign to me, the rest of it is a little bit easier. Let's look at that foreign entity that's classification and see if I can help you out with it. Classification is finding three groups that add up to a single whole. So basically, think of a pie if you'd like. You're dividing that pie into three different wedges, and you are trying to show what's interesting and exclusive about each wedge. One piece of pie is not part of the other. So you can't say that, for example, if you were looking at the three examples that I give, there are basically three types of community college students: pre-professional, pre-college, and those seeking English as their own reward. I don't want anything about pre-professional and pre-college to overlap. And so when I'm talking about the people that want to go to community college just to get a job, I don't want to also talk about the people who are going for the next step in their education, because if I enter that into the paragraph, I've now overlapped these two categories, and I don't want to do that. I want to say what's unique about the pre-professional group, what's unique about the pre-college group, and what's unique about the education as its own reward group. Okay, the paragraph would go on to define specific attributes that make each group unique. Maybe pre-professional people are uniquely interested in parts of education that are linked to specific industries. So, for example, welding or air conditioning, or something that tells you exactly what job you're going to get when you're done. Now, this is not what pre-college students look for usually. You don't see a lot of people going to four-year colleges that want to go into specific professional programs. And seeking education as its own reward, probably not as well. And that's why it's unique to the pre-professional group. The assignment for this week is to complete a classification paragraph. Remember, it's a single paragraph. I'll say it again, one paragraph with a clear topic sentence. The topic sentence is the first sentence of the paragraph that defines three types of bridges or dresses. I've given you some examples of what bridges and dresses look like in the post beneath, but you are going to come up with a topic sentence that looks a little bit like this, but about bridges or dresses, so not community college students. And when you do this, you are going to then write about what makes each group unique. Write a paragraph expanding upon the topic and adding your own images. So find your own images on the internet. Make certain people know what you're talking about when you talk about each group. If you don't like bridges or dresses, I tell you what, if you need to find your own topic, this is the 1 week. I'll allow it, but you have to email me, ask me if this will work, and I will ask you to find accompanying images to show that there's a certain group that you can classify into three different parts. This is due on February 11th. There's a 300-word minimum, and when it says always, distance education requires 300 words to consider it an actual weekly assignment, so most of the things you're doing here will be 300 words. Past the classification paragraph and into the journals. Journals are due every Monday, and you will label them Journal 1, Journal 2, Journal 3, Journal 4, Journal 5. I'm not going to finish, although I could. I can count to 10, or I'm sorry, 8. I made a mistake already. There's only 8. It's an 8-week class. Okay, you got me. Okay, well, you didn't get me. I got myself. If a student, you want to also comment on 2 other students, 100-word comment minimum to receive credit. So try to stay with the same 2 students. Remember, we're talking about an educational community. I'd love it if you knew more about them, right? And you followed those people, not in a stalky way, but in a how interesting your life is kind of way, all the way through the class. The journals are due every Monday night. Comment on 2 students' journals. I really expect that in the next like 48 hours. I didn't put that there though. If you comment on all the journals at the end of the semester, I will not take your grade down because I don't have a specific deadline for it, but I like to see it within a couple days. Again, the community aspect requires you to kind of log in and keep up with people. Again, though, I'm not going to punish you. The comments on other people's journals can be when you would like, when it fits your schedule. So each journal should be 300 words. You recognize that from the past assignment. Journals are due every Monday, and here are the topics. Interview a family member about a memorable presidential election in their lifetime. So you're going to ask someone about politics. I know it's scary. If you need to, I gave the go-ahead last semester on if people are just too political and you're scared of that in a divisive time, talk about their first job. That's usually not divisive at all. So if you need to change this, I kind of get it. It's a time in which people are having a hard time. But I like the idea because presidential elections often don't mean something divisive. They often mean your first vote. Isn't it cool to go out there and cast that first vote with somebody? I think that'd be cool. Number 2, describe a moment where you lack control, blah, 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 blah. If you have any questions about the individual topics, make certain that you either email the professor or you text me and maybe I can clarify it for other people. They might be having the same question. Good point, Professor Gifford. If you ever need clarification on something, please jump to it because other people might need the same clarification and it's good to get that information out as soon as possible. The last thing you're doing from this week. Now, notice some things you're not doing this week, you're doing later. The green is what is already assigned, and the non-green, obviously Essay 2 hasn't been assigned, Essay 1 hasn't been assigned, are the things that are coming up in the future. So that's exciting. The last thing you're going to do is a reading from the chapter from the bridge. The first week, some people don't have their book, and so I have provided another composition book on classification. On Friday, I expect everyone to have their books, and I will put a reading up on Friday, which will start your journey into understanding the research aspects of long-form writing. But for right now, I've got a kind of OER textbook chapter that will help you with this assignment. So read this before you get to this. A little bit long this week, but this is the first week, and so I usually talk a little bit more. But this is everything we're doing this week, and I hope that this gives you a basic understanding so that you can go forward confident and interested in the material that's presented to you. From the hills above Castaic, this is Professor Gifford signing off.